What more could you ask for in a day? Be able to go to the mountains and snowboard or ski during the morning, and in the night at the beach having a bonfire with a bunch of friends. Hey class, today I'm going to talk about a location I think everybody needs to visit, and that's Southern California. Today I'd like to talk about the weather, what it's like here in California year around. I'd like to talk about some of the attractions, some of the things you can do with your family or just you and a loved one. I'd kind of like to talk about the pros and cons to coming out here as far as budgeting goes and activities that you can do. So I want to talk a little bit about the weather first. Year round it's roughly in the 70s, but in the summer it can get to the mid to high 80s, and at night it drops between about high 60s to low 70s. To me, that's perfect compared to being in Vegas right now, and it's over 100 degrees in the summertime. And all this information was pulled off of weatherchannel.com, so feel free to go on there and do some research for whenever you guys are going to come and visit. Now that you have a better understanding of the weather, I kind of want to talk about some of the attractions. The attractions here, obviously, California is known for the beaches. The beach is amazing out here, especially if it's in the 80s that day. You can go to the beach, have some sand castles, you can even play football, you can learn how to surf, body surf, or you can just play in the water. If water's not your thing, you can walk on the pier, go to a couple of restaurants, or do a little bit of shopping right there on Main Street on the beach. Now, if the beach isn't your thing and you'd rather do something a little more active, you can go up to the mountains. And if you want to learn how to snowboard ski, we have some of the best resorts here in California. If you don't want to do that and you want to sled, take the family out there, throw a couple snowballs, make some snowmen, it's perfect for that. During the summertime, you can go up to the mountains and rent a cabin and just hike all day long. And the weather up there is in the 70s, so it's perfect hiking weather. And there's several lakes up there that you can go fishing for. So those who like to fish with their kids, that's the best opportunity to take them. Now those are some of the outdoor activities that, are just a great time to take the family. Let's talk a little bit about some of the attractions that you can go to. California is also known for Disneyland. Disneyland has two of their theme parks here, and it is the best time ever to take your kids. Although it might be a little pricey, you can spend over a weekend just at Disneyland alone. If you have a little bit older kids, you can just go 30 minutes down the road and go to Knott's Berry Farm. This place has roller coasters like no other place. So if you have teenagers who want to kind of have a little bit more fun, Knott's Berry Farm is the place. And the price is extremely cheap. It's only $34 to get in. Now, if theme parks aren't your thing, you can shoot down the road an hour towards San Diego and you can go to SeaWorld or the zoo. Now, this is fitted for all ages. SeaWorld's a blast. If you guys are looking to have a blast, you can even have dolphin rides or you can have dinner with Shamu and the other whales. So it's a pretty interesting trip. Obviously, San Diego Zoo is humongous and it's really good for little kids, especially when they have a petting zoo, so you can go in there and interact with them. Now, some other locations you can go to is what you see on TV. Go to Hollywood and just walking down LA. If that's kind of your thing and you want to see where some of these famous people live, you can spend half a day driving up and down Rodeo Drive looking at all these amazing mansions that most of these people look at. You can even take pictures in front of the Hollywood sign, so you can't beat that either. So now that I kind of given you a feel, I also want to kind of take a moment to show you the beach here in California, just so you can have a little bit better understanding of how busy and how packed that can be. Now these pictures were pulled off Google.com, so if you want to look at some of the beaches, you can look up Huntington Beach, Long Beach, or even Laguna Beach. Now that you have the attractions and you kind of understand what you can and can't do, I kind of want to talk about a little bit of the cons of Southern California, just so you can have an understanding when you come out here. Now, Southern California is not cheap. The cost of living out here in California is extremely expensive. So if you're planning to come out and spend a weekend at Disneyland, or if you want to spend a weekend out on the beach, you have to plan accordingly. The price out here is not cheap, and the theme parks are pretty expensive to come out here and visit. So I highly encourage you budget wisely and plan 6 months ahead before you come out here, especially because it's a really big destination and that cost of living does get you. However, I promise you that you won't regret spending that type of money. California has some of the best weather, the best people, we are very laid back, and it's just an overall good time. So if you're looking for a place to go that's in United States and you just want to get away for a weekend or a week, I highly encourage everybody to come out to California and visit. I've personally lived there for 18 years. So I recommend it to anybody and everybody if they're interested. A lot of this information I also went over, you can go on california.org and look at all the attractions, whether it's hiking or anything else you want to do, because trust me, there is a lot more to California than what I just said. So I kind of want to just recap what we went over. I talked about the weather. We have perfect weather year round. I talked about the attractions, whether you want to go to the beach, the mountains, attractions as far as amusement parks, or just go to Hollywood and look at some of these famous people's houses. And then lastly, the cost. It is expensive to come out here. However, I promise you, you won't regret it. Thank you for your time, and I hope that everybody can come out here and visit California. Thanks.